by the name of Dane Jones. I'm with my crew. So we gonna show y'all what we be snacking on. You dig? Okay. Hot Cheetos and Takis. Hot Cheetos and Takis. I can't get enough of these hot Cheetos and Takis. Got my fingers stained red and I cannot get them off. You can catch me in my crew eating hot Cheetos and Takis.
Alright folks, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Lesson 39. We're going to talk again about the relationship between an X and a Y. X and a Y on the table. And so we're looking for the relationship between these two numbers side by side. So I want everybody to take out their notebook, and this is what your notebook's going to look like. I'd like for you first, let's copy down the X and the Y table, and so we've got an X and a Y over here. So your notebook should look just like this. It's pretty easy stuff to do. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. So here's our 5 rows. We've got 99. We've got a blank. We've got 44 here. 22. This is actually a 4. Make sure it looks like a 4. We've got a blank, and then over here on this side we got 4. We have 16, then a 24, then a blank. Alright, so check this out. First thing I did was I noticed that this row right here is the first row that has both values. And then I was like, you know what? What is the relationship between 16 and 44? I can't really, off the top of my head, multiply 16 by anything and get 44. But what I did do is I go, oh, I can simplify them. So they're both divisible by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 44 divided by 4 goes here is 11. So then it kind of makes it easy. The chart kind of goes in pretty quick. 11 times 2 would be 22. So you're going to multiply 4 times 2 and get 8. Then it checks out because 8 times 2 is 16. 22 times 2 is 44. That's great. So then we get to 24 and there's a blank here. So 24 is pretty easy because you can either use the 4 or use the 8. So let's look at 8. 8 times 3 is 24, so then we're going to multiply 22 times 3, which is 66. And then last but not least, this one's kind of weird. I go back to the beginning. So we got 11. What do you do to an 11 to make it into a 99? So we know that's times 9, so what's 4 times 9 is 36. Now, once again, here we go. We've got this at the top of the paper. It says calculators are allowed. And so it's really funny because when I looked at these numbers, I thought, oh my gosh, no wonder why they allowed it, because these are pretty hard numbers to figure out. So what I did was I took my calculator and I did this. I did 11 divided by 4. So 11 divided by 4 should be the same thing as 22 divided by 8. But 11 divided by 4 came out to 2.75. Okay? So 2.75 is what I ended up with. So this is our factor. So our rule, right here you'd write rule, is x, y equals x times 2.75, okay? X times 2.75. The equation would be y equals 2.75x. Okay? Everybody agree? Nice. Very easy once you get a calculator involved, right? So you're welcome to use a calculator when you go up and down. I'd like for you guys to practice without a calculator as far as you can go. Alright folks, so let's take a look at the next problem, which if you're following along, the next problem looks like this. I'm going to draw today's special edition, Cinco de Mayo today. So here we've got stage 0 through 3, and this is the next problem, and it goes something like this. It just says that here's a scenario where the first stage, if the students completed none of their work, they get no reward. But if they did one assignment, they got 2 Takis. Ooh, these smell good. If they finish 2 assignments, 4 Takis. So I'm going to turn this sideways so they don't get confused. So these 2 go with stage 1. These 4 go with stage 2. And then how many Takis do we get for stage 3? People that completed 3 assignments get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Takis. Okay? So let's take a look at our numbers here. We've got really good Takis here. We got some really cool music playing in the background. So let's take a look at this. We're doing the same thing. We need to convert this situation, which happened last year in Mr. Glennon's class, that students who got nothing right didn't get paid. Students that did 1 problem and got it right, they got 2 Takis. If you got 2 problems right, you got 4 Takis. If you got 3 problems right, all 3 of them, you got 6 Takis. So let's turn this into a chart, folks. So I'm going to cut into stage 0 here. Now remember, if you guys are working on this in your notebook, it would be great. You can copy these into your notebook exactly like I've done. You could just put a tick mark for each Taki. But here's our chart. We're going to make a chart now. So we've got stage, and we've got Takis. So stage 0 got 0, stage 1 got 2, stage 2 got 4, and stage 3 got 6. So here's our table, and we're going to do the same thing we did in the first example, where we need to figure out what is the rule. So we need to write a rule. The rule just is, in plain English, what's going on in this scenario right here. So the rule is multiplicative. So remember, we're trying to look at if you did 0, so this would, stage 0 would be 0 times 2. Stage 1 is S times 2. So this was stage 0 times 2 over here. Here's stage 1 times 2 equals 2. Here's stage 2, S2 times 2 equals 4. And here's S, move these together, S3 times 2 equals 6. So here's our rule. Stage number times 2. Everybody agree? So we're doing the same thing we've done on Friday. We're doing the same thing. So next, let's look at, we need to come up with, oh, I just messed that up. Sorry about that, folks. So we need to come up with the equation. So the equation is going to be, so here's your rule, here's our equation. The equation is going to be S. So we've got, go back to our chart, we've got S for stage and T for Takis. And so there's a relationship, S number times 2 equals Takis. So we're going to do Takis. Takis equals 2 times the stage number. So here's our equation. T equals 2 times S. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do this, remember there's about 7 or 8 problems we'd like for you to do today. So please take a look at the pattern, fill in, build a chart. That's what you're going to do. Secondly, come up with a rule. And then the third thing you're going to do is come up with a number. You really have 3 things to do. I think there's only 5 or 6, I'm sorry, there's about 7 problems. So have a great day and happy Cinco de Mayo to you while I eat some Takis.
Corner to the south. To the south. round and round.